join us in progress here. So my name is Hunter Meek. I am the marketing director here at Pipeline ROI. Um, we provide a marketing platform for real estate agents, mortgage professionals. Um, Basically, it's a full marketing platform with a website and automated email campaigns. There's social media content in there. Um, all kinds of tools for you to market your business. Um, we will just try and talk about social media today, but if I wander off into another topic, sorry, it's just out of habit. Social media for real estate. I want to try to keep this kind of a fairly basic. I titled it Social Media 101, so that we don't have to dive super deep into detailed stuff. We will look at some specific examples, but I just want to be able to give you, an overview of a couple of social media platforms. And if we don't get through it all, we'll schedule another one of these soon and keep going. So why social media? When it started out, people, especially in the business sense, viewed social media as a place for people to post cat pictures and what they had for lunch, and sort of dismissed it as not really a serious um, business opportunity. But we are long past that, and we've seen lots of businesses generating tons of exposure, web traffic, leads, um, and actually seeing a very good ROI on their marketing efforts across different social media platforms. Um, why be there? Because other people are there, and especially in real estate, a huge part of your business is making those connections with people. The more eyes you get on your content, on your brand, the more exposure that you have, the better. The bigger you can grow your sphere of contacts, that's just more potential clients for you, whether they're short term or somewhere down the road. Making those connections is crucial, and you guys know that. As in general, real estate agents are good at building up their network, so social networking makes sense. Another great reason why is because a lot of it is totally free. May take you a little bit of time, but there are um, there are plenty of people using it successfully that don't dedicate tons of time to it. And like we said, increasing your exposure is an obvious benefit. How does it help? As we kind of mentioned, so raising your brand awareness, just getting your name, your business in front of more people is always a good thing. You can funnel people from these social posts and profiles and social networks over to your website, where hopefully you have things set up to generate leads, your contact information, where you can really turn those views into actual business and potential money. You can generate leads straight from social media in many cases. It's a great way to showcase, and we'll look at this specifically in a minute, to showcase your successes. So, you at the closing table with a client who is hopefully at one of the happiest points in their life, holding the keys to their new house with you next to them. That is a pretty good image to show your other connections. And also, you can learn just from being there, seeing what kinds of questions people ask, what people are looking for, what people are talking about locally, all of that. You learn about the people that you hopefully will turn into clients. So just a few stats real quick. Facebook is still number one out of all of these by a long shot. Now, I would say if you're going to If you're going to start with just one, Facebook is definitely the way to go, just because of the sheer um, percentage of, so 79% of online adults are on Facebook. Um, the rest of those down there, Instagram, Pinterest, LinkedIn, and Twitter, they're all really close. We're also going to look at Instagram today. We probably won't get to Twitter. Pinterest is pretty big as far as real estate goes right now. Instagram actually is the fastest growing of all of these at the moment, and it continues to go up. I expect it kind of to pull away from that pack there. No coincidence really that Facebook actually bought Instagram a few years ago, and it has started to go up pretty sharply. So a few quick tips before we dive into the actual social networks. So don't try to do it all. There are people that they get real fired up about social media and wanting to do all this, and it's like me at the buffet line. Your eyes are bigger than your stomach. You start all these different profiles on all these different platforms, and then one of them you kind of keep up with, and then three others you never post on, and it doesn't look good having those dormant profiles. Somebody comes across your Twitter profile or whatever it is and sees that you haven't posted anything or done anything in the last year or two. They might think you're not even practicing. You're not even in real estate anymore. It almost does more harm than good. So don't try to do all of them, especially right off the bat. Be consistent. So keep them updated. Like we said, you don't want anything just totally dormant there. It doesn't look good. It doesn't foster engagement. Don't expect immediate results. I mean, you understand that with anything. Right when you get started, you're not going to overnight get hundreds of followers and likes and comments and leads and all of that. It takes a little bit of time to grow. Number one, probably the biggest thing I would say out of all of this is always offer value. So the things that you post, the things that you share, it needs to have value. So, and we'll talk about this in a second, but just posting a link to your new listing, and that being the only thing that you post is my new listing, my new listing, my new listing, my new listing, that's not always going to generate a lot of engagement. Yes, you do want to put those on there sometimes, but you want to give people more than just that. You want to give them the information they're looking for, things that are helpful to them. We will look at some examples and give you some ideas of what that is here in just a second. Interact and engage. So don't be one of those people that starts your Facebook page and sometimes you post stuff on it, and when somebody asks a question you forget to respond, or you don't comment on anybody else's pictures or posts, or try to engage with anybody else. It's really the whole point of it is interaction with other people. So Facebook, like I said, if you only do one, make it Facebook. It has the most daily active users. It's a pretty low learning curve. And so we're not going to talk a whole lot about paid options on these social networks today. We'll set something up for that later on, and I would love to show you guys some of that. But today we're gonna focus more on just the stuff you can do for free. But just keep in the back of your mind that there are plenty of advertising options on these networks, and Facebook is really, really good at how you can target your ads. I mean, if you think about it, there's 1.9 billion people on there, and they willingly, when they sign up for a profile and all of that, give lots of information about themselves, their interests, and all of that. And so, of course, Facebook, turns around and uses that to make money, and you can't really fault them for it. The good thing is, it actually helps advertisers, reach people that actually care about their ads. if they're really targeted, you're going to be less likely to see something that doesn't make any, that's not relevant to you. Anyway, sorry, we'll talk about that more later. So getting started, create a business page. So if you, most likely you probably have a Facebook profile that is, your name and your personal profile. If you don't, you can do that first and just go to facebook.com and it'll just ask you for email, your email address, set up a password, your name, and then you can go on to creating a business page. In the past, some people have started started kind of trying to run their business stuff through their personal page. I don't recommend that, just because there's a lot of different things you can do with a business page versus just a personal profile. So create that business page. It's pretty easy. I was going to show you guys really quickly, if I'm smart enough to show you my other screen over here. Okay, hopefully you can see that. So right here, there's just when you go to that link that is right here, facebook.com/pages/create, it just lets you choose. What you want to do here is choose local, business, or place. I know company might sound like it makes sense, but this local, business, or place option is what you want to do. It lets you, later on down the road, it's important that you have chosen this one, because it lets you add things like reviews, a map, directions to your location, to your office, and things like that. So you choose that, you fill in a little bit of information, hit get started, and you are off to the races. We're not going to go through that whole process right now, just because it will take a little bit of time, and I'd rather talk to you guys or give you some more information and let you kind of go through that on your own. The good news is it is very user-friendly. It's very easy to get set up, and once you get all that information filled in, start posting. Start asking your friends, your connections, your contacts to go check out your page, to like it, to leave you a review if it's a past client, so you can start getting that stuff built up and get that page really built out, so that when somebody finds it, they get lots of great information about you and how much you can help buyers and sellers. So what to post? These are just a few examples that I just kind of came up with off the top of my head. What's your house worth? So if you have a page on your website, which you should, that's kind of a what's my house worth kind of valuation tool. Really the idea of that is not to give them a perfect valuation of their house, of course, but to capture that lead and have somebody's information that may be interested in selling, and then you can take that to the next step and contact them and see what kind of what they're looking for to buy when they want to sell, and all of that. Something like a blog post. So if you're not blogging, I recommend definitely start doing that. It's not as hard as you think it is in your head, I promise. Just and it doesn't have to be anything super in-depth. Come up with a couple things that first-time buyers always ask you or want to know about or need to know. Write that up in a little, it can be a couple of paragraphs. Put that on your blog, on your website, and link to that from a post on your new Facebook page. Community and local info, so things that are happening, and obviously real estate, is all about location. It's all about local things going on. Your clients are going to be people that live in the area where you work. Sharing things like local events, new restaurants, things to do, all of that is stuff that is interesting. It's not necessarily just, like we said earlier, it's not just posting your listings. It's sharing information that your connections find valuable or find helpful. You know, I've used this example before in some of our other webinars, but one of our clients, one of their most highly shared, biggest traffic generating blog posts was just about the best fireworks shows in their area. So around, you know, before 4th of July, they just, you know, looked up what kind of firework displays were going to be going on in the area. They posted a blog about it, you know, with times and links, and started sharing that, and that got shared tons of times, and lots of people were going to their website, seeing their brand, seeing their name, and getting this information that, you know, doesn't really relate to real estate necessarily, but it shows that you are, you know, a part of the local community. And people like that, people appreciate it, and like we said, you're getting that visibility that's huge. And when somebody, maybe they aren't buying or selling right now, maybe they know somebody that is, or maybe they will be in the near future, and if you're the first person that comes to their mind, that is absolutely what you are shooting for. So listings are okay, but don't do it all the time. Change it up, you know, give a little more information than just, here's my listing. You know, make it unique. Use pictures, videos, give some sort of unique angle about why somebody might like this house, about the neighborhood, about the area. You know, like we said earlier, offer value. Questions are good. So like we said, interaction and engagement is what social media is all about. So questions, what's the number one thing you look for in a house? What's something you wish you knew before you bought your first home? Things that people can respond to. There's a lot of reasons why this helps you with information about, you know, what are some other good blog posts I can talk about? What are some other informative things I can post on my page here? Plus, it gives people a chance to just kind of start that conversation and that interaction that you're looking for. So Facebook, what to post. So this is an example from one of our customers here, and they shared, I love this idea for a lot of different reasons. So I believe they're in Florida, and there was some storms and really bad flooding, and so they put together this idea of a way that they could help you know, the homeless community there in their area. And so they were collecting supplies. You know, this is not the first thing you would think of off the top of your head to post on your real estate Facebook page. But man, look at so 69 people liked the post, 52 people shared it. So that's, if you think about exposure, maybe, you know, what if only 50 people or 100 people like your Facebook page? Well, not even all of them are going to see this when you post it necessarily, but 52 people shared this, and so those 52 people, each one of them has contacts of their own that they're connected to, and so they're going to see that. So it really just exponentially increases your exposure. Plus, I love the aspect of just the community aspect of this. You know, that they're doing something to try to help, and that does get you some good will with your connections. So local community involvement, it could be anything. This was just one example that I happened to come across. You see there, it started out the post with "please share" in all caps. On something like this, that's cool. This is a you know, trying to be helpful, and people will shares it. So we talked about the 52 shares increasing that visibility exponentially. So here's another one from that same office there. They're doing a giveaway kind of deal for, you know, a random drawing for people that post a review on their page. It's a good way to kind of build up their reviews and you know, offer some value to people as well, just because, you know, who doesn't like a chance at winning a gift certificate. Make sure and check like Facebook's guidelines on doing anything like giveaways and stuff like that, just to make sure you're within their rules and everything. So some other ideas you can create. There's really no limit, I don't think, to how many pages you can create. So you create your branded business page, but then you can also create another one that, so I'm in Oklahoma City. Say I make best houses in Oklahoma City, or coolest houses in Oklahoma City page, and I don't brand it with my company or my name or anything like that. It's just a kind of a community interest page, and start posting, pictures of the coolest houses and listings and different things that I see. People are actually a lot more likely to like and follow and share and comment on something like this that is unbranded, that they don't feel like they're going to be sold to necessarily. And then as this kind of page grows, you can, every once in a while, don't overdo it or people start leaving, but every once in a while do post something about, hey, if anybody, is looking to buy or sell, just wanted to let you know, we'd be happy to help. Here's a link to, what our customers say about us, and link them to your reviews page or something like that. So you can occasionally share your business posts on your personal profile. So I do this sometimes. I have a couple of small businesses that I own, and it's okay to let your friends and family and connections know what you do. I mean, that's a huge part of your life and who you are, and that's fine. And sharing that is cool. They're all potential clients, really. But if the only thing you post on there all the time, you all know somebody like that who posts 5 times a day about their, why you should buy their essential oils or something. You don't want to turn you don't want to turn into one of those people that just overdoes it and kind of drives people away. But every once in a while, on your personal profile, share one of your posts from your business page and say, you can add a little commentary to it if you want. Then experiment with paid advertising. Like I said, the targeting options, especially on Facebook, are awesome. There's no minimum, like, to get started. You could say, I want to do a few bucks a day. There is kind of a threshold. You need to be fairly committed to it to be able to move the needle and get some traffic and leads and stuff. But there's really no minimum. It's easy to test. It's easy to change and try different things. I'll refrain from diving too far into that. I love Facebook advertising, but that's for another day. So on your business page, there's a way that you can pin a post to the top of your page. So maybe it's something from a month ago, but maybe it's your most liked post or something that did really well. When you look at that post on your page, there's like a little option for you to hit that says pin, and what it does basically is, just even though that was from in the past and you've posted other things since then, it sticks it up at the top of your page so that that's the first thing people see when they come to your page. I'll try and pull this up here and see if I can give you an example. So sorry. We will move on to Instagram here in just a second, but I wanted to show you, if I can here, change my screen. All right, there you go. Hopefully you can see that now. So this is a buddy of mine that is a real estate agent here locally, and cool guy, funny guy. His Homeboy Real Estate is kind of his business name, and he has lots of great stuff on this page. As you can see, there's some listings, but there's also reviews. 921 people have liked this page. There's a map of their location of the office there. So video, some renovation stuff he does. He also does some home flipping kind of things. He just does a really good job with this page. And so here's a video tour of one of his listings. He's got his information on it. And I encourage you to look at some other examples. You don't have to come up with everything on your own. Look at other people who you think are doing a good job of that Facebook marketing, and borrow those ideas. That's no big deal. Okay, so on to Instagram. Sorry, we are slightly behind. I'm going to try and hurry us up here. So Instagram, as I said, was bought by Facebook a few years ago. It really is the fastest growing of all those other social networks. So 400 million people are active on it every day. So 35% of people say of users say they check it multiple times per day. There's 95 million photos and videos shared every day. So a couple of months ago, over 120 million users visited a website, got directions, called, emailed, or direct messaged to learn about a business based on an ad on Instagram. Like I said, we're not going to dive into ads today, but there are stats showing that it works. So getting started on Instagram, it's really a mobile app. There is some functionality of it on desktop, like on your computer. If you go to Instagram.com and log in, or create a profile and log in, you can comment on pictures, you can follow people, but you can't post anything. So to actually post pictures and videos on Instagram, you need to download the app on your smartphone. Setting up an account, just like Facebook, it's really easy. You put in your email, a password, choose a username, put in your profile information, such as a little bio about you, a link to your website. It's really simple and easy to get set up to start following people. So what to post? Listings are a little cooler here than they are on Facebook, just because the platform itself is so focused on pictures and videos that it's really a good spot for things like that. Make sure you use hashtags, which is well, we'll look at an example here in just a second, but it's just a way for people to find your content. So if you post a picture of a new listing that you got, and it's in the Brookhaven edition in Oklahoma City, if you, in your comment when you post the picture, if you put the little hashtag symbol, the pound sign, and then a word, what it does is basically links that so that it's a searchable term. So I'll show you that in depth here in just a second. But it's a way to get your content in front of more people. So even if somebody doesn't follow you on Instagram, but they search something like Brookhaven or Oklahoma City, if you had it tagged with those things, hashtagged with those things, your picture would show in those search results, so they could see it, click on it, like it, comment, follow you, see your brand, interact with you. And that's, like we said, that's the point. Happy clients, that's always good. I see this a lot on Instagram. Somebody at the closing table, keys in hand. That is a really it's one of those feel-good kind of things, and other people see it, and they don't necessarily see all of the 5 contract renegotiations and busted financing and all the crazy stuff that you went through to get there, but they see a smiling, happy couple with the key standing in front of their new house, and they associate you with that, and that you can get that for them as well. Have them, ask them to reshare the post if they don't do it on their own. so that all of their friends and family, and that's something that they like to share anyway, and so that all of their connections see how good of a job you did with them as well. Local events and businesses, like we said on Facebook, any place that's any way that you can start a mutually beneficial relationship with another local business or venue or whatever it is, where you guys can hopefully help build each other up and increase exposure for both of you. That's always a good thing. And yeah, so to do that, there's a way to, when you post a picture, there's an option to tag someone, and if they have an Instagram account, you just hit the little tag button, you start typing in their account, it'll pull up and it'll add them to that post. So here's a couple of examples from my buddy who, and these are actually so what you can do on Instagram when you post a picture like this with your little caption here and your information, I would say always include that as well. There's an option to promote it. So after you post it, when you look at it within your profile, you'll see a little button on the picture that just says promote, and see if you can see this here. There'll be like a little, like right here, there'll be a little button that says promote. You can hit that and pay basically to boost that, get the exposure boosted on that post to whoever you choose, and you can set up an audience with that, and it's very cool and really effective, and we'll talk about that in another webinar. I don't want to keep you here the rest of the day. I could talk about it for a long time. But as you see, here's an example of a post, where he says, thank you for working with me. And then you see his information here. Somebody could click to go learn more, see his profile or his website. Sorry. Here's another example of an agent in front of a house, basically saying, you need to see this, and giving you the link there where you can see more. So Instagram is kind of different in that you can't link within a post. So see how he has his link here, that sa.kw.com, etc. That is not going to be something that somebody can click on from this post and go to it. They would have to go type that in. So it's not ideal in that sense, but you do have a location in your profile where you can put a link. So a lot of times what you'll see people do is post something like this and say, see more info at link in my bio. And so then you go look at their bio page, and they've changed out the link there to be for that specific listing, whatever it is. You just got to remember to change that as you do different things. So there's an example of the hashtags that I was talking about. You can see all these different things, and there is a lot of research showing that if you have over a couple of hashtags, it increases the exposure, it increases the engagement. So somebody who, say, just searched, Florida, they would see this, architecture, interior design. You don't want to get super broad with it. Honestly, some of these, I'll show you in a second, like this real estate, just plain old real estate hashtag. It's not bad to add that on there, but there's about, I think when I checked earlier, there's like 8.1 million posts with that hashtag or something, so it's not super targeted. Here's another example of, saying congratulations on your new, on your closing, with some hashtags there, and then they've also, you can see at the end where they've that little at Tampa New Construction and at Domain Homes Inc. those are other Instagram profiles, I'm assuming, of probably the builder, um, that they have added in that. So those two accounts, they would get notification that, hey, Tabby sells Tampa, tagged you in this post, um, and it's just kind of a good way to build up, like we said, those mutually beneficial relationships. I love this. I thought this was a cool idea. So a picture of, her sign in front of a house, so that way you get right there in the picture, you get all of her information. If you need to go to the website, if you want to call, you get that right here. So if you can see my little highlighter thing, this is their profile name, but then right here underneath it, you see where it says Flower Mound, Texas. When you go to make a new post, it also gives you the option to add a location. So there's like a little pin that looks like a little map pin. And I'm sorry, if I had a way to actually show you this on my phone, I would do that and it would make more sense. But I may try to figure out a way to do that, to screencast my phone screen and show you guys that next time. But it gives you an option to add a location. And what this does is, so anybody who is in the Flower Mound, Texas area and they open up Instagram and they go to search, they can see what is local, what is around them. So they can see posts that have been posted in Flower Mound, Texas. That is a really cool feature. I recommend putting a location on every post that you can. It just increases the exposure. It increases that local feel and the likelihood that somebody who is an actual potential client of yours is going to see your post. Here's another cool one here, Kenneth Cano in front of an open house. He has a couple of specific, and you see there he's got his Glendale, Arizona location on that. That's cool. He's got a couple of good, more unique hashtags here. So like military realtor, Phoenix realtor, Scottsdale. I would recommend, you can't, it's possible to kind of overdo it with the hashtags. It's a little much, but also I don't think it doesn't really hurt anything other than, you may get somebody random who likes your photo who's in, he's in Glendale, Arizona, and somebody searches real estate or whatever, investor, and they're in New York and they see this photo, they might like it. Well, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't do you much good, but it doesn't hurt either. So yeah, like I said, so this real estate hashtag, I just searched hashtag real estate, 8.4 million posts. But it doesn't hurt you to have your post in there among those. It increases exposure. It's not a bad idea. Like we said, use hashtags. You'll get more engagement. Include your location. Use a call to action. So like we said, if you post a listing or something, say, view the full tour and details and stuff at the link in my profile. And so somebody will go click on that and go check it out. Same as Facebook or any social media. Actually engage with people, like other people's photos, comment on other people's photos, follow other people, message people. It's a good way to actually start the conversation with other people. So here is my buddy's Instagram account. You can see lots of those happy client photos there. Here's another one, Ann Jones. So she has a really kind of a wide range of different kinds of things that she's posted here. I think this is like a local artist who, she has a piece of her work hanging in their office, where she went to eat. I don't know what's going on with the goat. But it's interesting, right? And so she has some listings and things mixed in, but there's lots of other things, just life and local happenings. So just recently Instagram changed. Before you could only just post like one picture at a time or one video. Now you can create a post that has multiple. So within this one post, there are whatever 10 pictures, of this house, of this listing. There's an open house this day, so she puts that on there so somebody knows they can go check it out if they want. There's a lot that you can do with this. There's no way, we've been here 45 minutes almost and just barely even scratched the surface. The best thing that I can tell you to do is just start. It can be kind of intimidating, and like I said, you don't want to start all of them at once and think that overnight they're all going to provide you all this new business. But pick one or two. I would say start with Facebook if you don't have a Facebook page, and just start. Start posting, start experimenting with what kinds of things people connect with and people like and people ask you about, and just start growing it. So this here is just real quick for you guys for being here today. If you do want to check out the Pipeline ROI marketing platform, we have some really cool social media tools in there that help you out as far as, so right here is just a little screenshot of, we have a bunch of provided posts for you that we've come up with. So I know a lot of times that feeling of like, well, I don't know what to post. It makes it hard to get started. So we've got, I think right now there's about 100 different posts in here that you can choose from, talking about different things, linking to articles and to information that you can just select and use, and we throw all those in there for you just to kind of get you started. And for you guys being here today, if you do want to check out Pipeline ROI, we are offering a 20% off of our setup cost just since you came and checked out the webinar with us today. So let us know if you're interested in that. The other part of that is this little scheduler. So say you pick one of those posts or you come up with your own, whatever it is. You can use our scheduler here to choose which days you want to post which things, and you can add it to a schedule, and then it'll automatically post for you. That way you're not having to remember every day. I know you guys are busy and you're driving clients around and having showings and open houses and all kinds of stuff. But you could come in here one day when you get a little bit of time and schedule a post, from now through the end of the month if you wanted, and know that you were going to have content going out on those different social media profiles every day, and not have to worry about going and doing that manually yourself every time. We're actually also talking about starting an option where we manage that for you. I can't give out a lot of information about that right now because we haven't officially started it. I think we will be beta testing that pretty soon. So if you are interested in something where we would manage your social media posting, setup and posting and stuff like that for you, just let me know. You can email info@pipelinерoi.com. Let me know if that's something you would potentially remotely be interested in if we get it started, and we can talk about that. So